right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our holiday show. How's everybody doing? All right. So let's start with intros. I am Delilah Crespo. I am doing main hosting today because Janae can't be with us. Nothing serious. She's just hosting. It's the holiday season, right? Her in-laws are over, and so she's got to take care of family duty. So Janae, we love you. Hopefully, you could join us next week. And I'm also the co-host of the Roundtable as well on Tuesdays. So tune in those days. And then over to she's on my right side here on my screen. So
Hey, I am Kate, Tom Brady's biggest fan, Elverson, and I am the creator of the Ladies Takeover show. And I did something a few weeks ago, and I've been waiting to bring it to this show, but I'm representing the Lions tonight. I'm all about the Detroit Lions. I'm all about representing them. So today is Honolulu Blue Thursday.
Oh, that's nice. I bet your dad's happy because I know he's a huge Lions fan.
Yes, he is.
That's awesome. And then over below us.
Hello, my name is Nicole Klychak, and today was laundry day, and I don't know if the Oilers are playing or not tonight, but that's about that.
Don't be modest. You know, she has her NFC South show on Tuesdays before the Roundtable. So remember, exactly. Tuesdays are packed, all right? So tune in before the Roundtable for the NFC South show and then stay for the Roundtable. Lots of great Let's Talk Football programming all week, pretty much. All right, so let's get into the show. Happy holidays, everybody. There's so much going on. Happy Hanukkah to all my Jewish fans out there, because I know we're already a few days in. So happy Festival of Lights. Happy Hanukkah to all of you. This weekend is Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody that's celebrating Christmas. And Monday is Kwanzaa, so happy all these wonderful holidays. Honestly, I hope that everybody is having a wonderful time with their friends and family and loved ones, and celebrate however you prefer celebrating. So happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
All right. Sean is tuning in from the road because he is driving home for the holidays. That's nice. All right. This is the time of year where, as we know, people are traveling. So if you are in snowbound areas, my recommendation is check your flights if you're flying, because there are a lot of delays or outright cancellations. So if you are flying, make sure to check that out, because I've been seeing all over the place just cancellations and delays. So be safe driving on the road, so I hope everybody is driving safely and traveling safely.
Elliott here coming, Winter Storm Elliott coming in the Midwest. So please be safe, please be careful, and get to your loved ones safe and sound.
Stay warm.
Stay warm, especially up where you're at.
Yes, stay warm. If you don't have a place to stay warm, I know most towns and cities have warming centers, so please find out where your local warming centers are, because I know that most cities and towns have those. So please make sure you are staying safe. All right, there he is. The Panthers want the South, Nicole.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, no.
Love it.
Don't give me any ideas.
Here we go. Well, honestly, that division is anybody's division at this point right now, the way it stands.
It's a sad
4.8% chance.
So it's anybody's
division at this point.
Yes.
Okay, so now with so we have to recognize too, sadly there was some loss this week. Rest in peace to Hall of Famer Franco Harris. He's done so much, but everybody knows him for the Immaculate Reception. That is what he is best known for. For Pittsburgh Steeler, our boy Sydney, who also co-hosts a bunch of shows on LTF. So rest in peace to Franco Harris. Thank you for being the legend that you are, and for just setting a bar and standards in football. My condolences to your fans, your loved ones, and everyone close to your heart. So, rest in peace, Franco Harris, because honestly, just a legend in the game.
I learned some things about him that because I didn't watch football before, and I had no idea. But yeah, he's a 4-time Super Bowl champion, and was awarded the NFL Man of the Year in 1976.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go watch some highlights for sure.
Oh yeah, you get the Immaculate Reception is kind of the first one you should look at. Honestly, that was just
incredible.
That is what launched him to fame. Besides his 4 Super Bowl, but that was the one that really immortalized him.
Well, I have it here in quotations, the Immaculate Reception.
Yes. I mean, Kate, what you got? Because I know, you've been watching football a lot longer than me and Nicole.
Oh. Well, it was pretty something else because my dad is who really informed me a lot about Franco Harris. And it's really incredible to know what a legacy he had in the NFL and what a great player he was. I mean, those 70s Steelers were just phenomenal with Terry Bradshaw and everybody. So I wish I would have been alive to see that era of football. Like when I was born, it was 1976. See, I'm old. And I wish I could have been around to watch more of that football era because it was such a gritty football era. It was like, all about the mud and getting dirty and grinding and just really just blue collar football back then. Not as flashy as it's become now. So, but he was just one of the very, very best to do what he did. So it's a sad day. It's a sad loss for the NFL community, and rest in peace, Mr. Harris. And it's a sad loss for the NFL for sure.
It is. And you'll live on because of the legend that you were.
Yep. They should put on his tombstone, Immaculate Reception.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, absolutely. I agree. And then sadly, we lost someone else a lot. Ronnie Hillman Jr., everybody knows him as the part of the Super Bowl winning team Broncos, with Peyton Manning. And sadly, you know how they say F cancer is true? Like, honestly, like just that he was only 31 and sadly he just, he lost his battle with cancer. Put up a great fight. But sadly, we just lost him at the age of 31. And so I'm so sorry to his father, his mom, his parents, just honestly, like the whole Broncos family, the Broncos fans, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry for your loss. It's a difficult thing, but he's no longer in pain.
No.
Thank God, he's at peace now. He's no longer suffering. So rest in peace for Ronnie Hillman Jr. Again, my condolences to all of your loved ones.
It's a sad time of year to lose people right around the holidays too. So, and yeah, I can say with firsthand experience, cancer is a beast, and it's sad who it picks and why it decides to pick and take the people it does. But my heart goes out to his family because I know what a struggle it is to watch your loved one go through cancer, and knowing it was living in my body at one point. It's sad. Oh, just breaks my heart for his family that he's no longer with them because of this vicious disease that we just can't seem to get a grip on. So rest in peace to you, Mr. Ronnie Hillman Jr. Sad.
Yeah. It sucks that it's too late that he's not, he's in peace now, but even researching, he has a very good legacy that he does leave behind. Even with the Broncos, I was researching, with the 7 touchdowns during the regular season while sharing the backfield with, I'm sure, CJ Anderson, was a buddy of his. But yeah, he's he's in our hearts forever. And he's made his mark, you know, on the NFL.
Beautiful words. So let's take a short break, and then we will move on to our next segments. So take a pause, drink some water. But again, condolences to both families. All right, like I said, that's our ad for our NFC South show, which one of our lovely co-hosts, Miss Nicole, is a host of, and Andrew is tuning in. He is another co-host on the NFC South show. Andrew reps Kate's favorite team. Well, team that has her favorite quarterback. We all know that she's Mr. Tom Brady's biggest fan.
So yes, I am. It's been a hard season, though.
And Nicole, let everybody know what team you rep in the NFC South.
Oh, it's the Saints. Woo. You know that very, very well, don't you, Andrew?
All right. So awesome. Tune in again on Tuesdays. What time do you guys usually go on, Nicole, on Tuesdays?
5:30
Mountain
around
time?
that time, Mountain Standard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. So. All right. And speaking of football, we have a Thursday night game. We're going to start in a few minutes. Starts at 7:20 Central. Because I'm in Central Time Zone. See, we're representing 3 different time zones on this show.
Isn't it great?
All right. So it's a huge game for both of these teams. You have the number 1 draft quarterback, Mr. Lawrence, who Kate calls Prince Adam from Beauty and the Beast, which I can see because he's got the blonde locks. Versus Mr. Loves to be with older women, Zach Wilson, who went at number 2. So you have the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick playing against each other, and is a huge game for both of these teams. The Jets have to win so they can keep that last spot, because right now they've dropped some games, and so it's really important for them to keep this W so they can keep their playoff hopes alive. And for the Jaguars, my goodness, people counted them out, and now they've been winning games. You know, we all saw that game. Sorry to my Cowboy fans watching, but we saw that overtime win where the Jaguars beat the Dallas Cowboys, and now they can actually win out and steal a playoff spot. So it is very possible for the Jaguars to make it to the playoffs. And so both teams, huge game for both of them. Nicole, what you think? What is your what do you think? What's going to happen tonight? Who's going to get the W?
Okay. Well, the Jets are a team that they are going to heavily rely on their defense side of the ball. Their defense is ranked 3rd overall yards allowed in the NFL. So I'm pretty sure that means that they're good, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we got them. And then there's the Jags offense. They could be stagnant a little bit, but they got some good helping hands to help them, give them a little push. However, there is a weather effect in play. I believe there is going to be some weather happening, right? They're in an open. Yeah. So I really want to give it to the Jaguars, but I think there was a guy that I saw running the numbers, and now I'm picking the Jets to win. And it's going to be a 23 game because we know with the Thursdays, it's hard to get high.
Wow.
They're in the numbers.
Wow. 15-23 though. Ooh. Yeah. That's actually pretty. That's high scoring for Thursday night games. All right. So you got the Jets beating the Jaguars. All right. Nice. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I mean, they definitely both have an equal shot. So, Kate, what you got?
I feel a very strong momentum coming from the Jacksonville area. I think they're starting to figure things out and mesh as a team. And I think the fact that they could beat the Cowboys in overtime the way they did, and that they just had a lot of poise doing it. I have high hopes for Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback. And I really feel like now that they figured out that Urban Meyer wasn't the answer down there, and they got rid of him, and they're finally getting a good coaching staff down there, getting good players, figuring everything out. I really want to give the edge to Jacksonville tonight, and I want to say it's going to be maybe 18-13,
okay.
But I have high hopes for the Jaguars, though. I just feel like they have that momentum after beating the Cowboys. They've been playing well. They've been surprising us in a lot of games.
They have been.
So I have high hopes, even with Zach Wilson and his quarterback for them, and for the Jets and everything, and with having Sauce Gardner and the other players that they have.
I do like Sauce. Like that was a great pickup.
Sauce is a good player, so
yeah.
Anyway, I think even with all that, I think we saw a lot of weaknesses in Zach in his last game. So
yeah.
I'm going at Jacksonville 18-13.
All right. So, everybody, if there's people watching, what do you think? Who's going to get the win between the Jets and the Jaguars? And if you want to give a score by how much, go for it. But who gets the W tonight? Will it be Mr. Number 1 or Mr. Number 2? We will see. So I'm going with the Jaguars. Yeah. I actually do think that they have picked up a lot of steam and momentum. I also think that Lawrence is just a better quarterback. Overall, he is. I'm not saying that Zach Wilson is a slouch, but Trevor Lawrence is obviously better. I mean, he's been balling. We saw he's got monster yards, touchdowns, and but I think they're going to keep building on that momentum. And so I do think I give that edge to the Jaguars, and I think it'll be 21-17 Jaguars. That's my pick.
Trevor was probably one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in college. He just has a flawless effort. His effort is flawless, and his precision is really good. So after watching him in college, kind of like with Smokey Smooth, my edge is to Lawrence.
Yeah, so we'll see. Right now, the Jets are on the board, but with a field goal, so it's 3-0. There's only the first quarter, though, so there's a lot of football left. So what do you think, guys? People watching, who gets the win? Who's going to get the W tonight? It should be. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll see who wins out.
I do have to say, the Jags jerseys are quite nice.
They are. Nice. I love that color.
All right. So one of our favorite segments is coming up. We love talking about women and elevated women in the NFL. And today, Kate is going to take over that segment. But before we do a quick clip.
I'm all about women empowerment. I mean, it's one of the things that I talked about when bringing this topic into this group. I really respect women and their roles, and I think a woman's place can be in the NFL.
All right, Kate, take it away.
Today, I am talking about Suzy Kolber. I think we should all know who Suzy is. She's very well known. She's always in the mix in football. She was born in 1964 and is an American football sideline reporter, co-producer, and sportscaster for ESPN. She was one of the original anchors when they expanded into ESPN2 when it launched in 1993. 3 years later, she left ESPN2 to join Fox Sports and rejoined ESPN in late 1999. Her early life, she was raised in a Jewish family in suburban Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She went to Sandy Run Middle School in Dresher, Pennsylvania. And in 1982, she was a graduate of Pennsylvania's Upper Dublin High School. She graduated from the University of Miami in 1986. At 10 years old, Susie won a spot on the school football team. However, she quit because of the strong disagreement from adults and her parents that she should be a female playing on the football team. In her career before ESPN, she graduated from the University of Miami in 1986 with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in telecommunications. While as an undergrad, she worked at Dynamic Cable in Coral Gables, Florida as a sports director from 1984 to 86 and was on the University of Miami water ski team. After graduation, she worked for CBS Sports in New York City as a videotape coordinator in 1986. From 1985 to 89, Colbert produced the 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time sportscast for the WTVJ TV in Miami, winning a local sports Emmy in 1988. From 1989 to 1990, she freelanced as a specialist producer for WPLG TV in Miami. In addition, she produced 2 magazine shows, Greyhound Racing America in Miami, Florida, from 1988 to 1990, and the Cowboys Special Edition in Irving, Texas, from 1990 to 91. In 91, Colbert's freelance assignments included work as a reporter, producer for the Breeders' Cup newsfeed in Greenwich, Connecticut, a field producer for Inside Edition in New York City, a sports specials producer for WCIX TV in Miami, and a producer director for NFL Films. She was the weekend sports anchor and weekday feature reporter in West Palm Beach, Florida from December 1991 until she moved to ESPN in 93. So she's got an extensive background before even joining ESPN. For ESPN, she has covered a variety of assignments from the National Football League to the 1996 ESPN X Games, bicycle stunt events, and Grand Slam tennis events. She is most recognized as the sideline reporter on ESPN's Monday Night Football with Michelle Trefoya in 2007. She was also the host for ESPN's pre-race NASCAR countdown program. Colbert joined ESPN's Monday Night Football team during its inaugural year in 2006 after 5 previous seasons on ESPN's Sunday Night Football from 2001 to 2005. As a member of the Monday Night Football team, Colbert helped the longtime franchise become the most watched program in cable television history. She's worked for ABC Sports broadcast of the Super Bowl in Detroit in 2006 with Michelle Trefoya and contributed to the network's pregame show. She has also been the first female recipient of the Maxwell Club Sports Broadcaster of the Year Award in 2006 and was named to Sports Business Daily's 2004 list of the 10 favorite sports TV personalities of the past 10 years. Colbert regularly reports and hosts ESPN's year-round NFL Live news and information show, and she has played a major role in ESPN's comprehensive coverage of the annual NFL Draft, hosting the 2-day telecast from 2004 to 2006 and leading analyst segments on day one. For the 1990 from 1999 to 2003 NFL seasons, Colbert was the host of NFL Matchup. She also previously contributed to the backstage segments to the Monday Night Countdown. During the NFL season, Colbert serves as an anchor on SportsCenter and as an on-site and studio host for ESPN's tennis coverage at the French Open and Wimbledon. In 1996, in 2000 and 2001, she hosted the Summer X Games and the Winter X Games in Aspen. And she's also explored broadcasting of horse racing and the Triple Crown for both ESPN and ESPN2. When she returned to ESPN after her stint at Fox, she was originally joining the network to co-host ESPN2 Sports Night when the network debuted. And then she has gone on to do SportsCenter, College Game Day, X Games, and other different things. And she has a strong background in analysis, and that's why she's one of the best females for game day analysis. While covering the 2011 NFL Draft, Colbert came under fire for her interview with Mark Ingram II, who started to sob when Colbert read an email from Ingram's imprisoned father. The interview was perceived by some as being manipulative. So she's got a little drama to herself because we do talk about the drama on here. But anyway, she's also been was the reporter known for the Namath incident when he said he wanted to kiss her. So she's had a lot of different backgrounds. She's most recently very intricate with Monday Night Football. And that is Suzy Kolber. And Delilah or Nicole, what do you want to contribute about Suzy and her extensive career in NFL and different sports, ESPN and Fox?
I mean, I think it's great that we're starting to cover the women in the NFL, certainly with the sports reporting aspect, because I don't know if you guys know this, but for certain programs, we have DAZN, and there's certain with news reporters and stuff like that, we don't always get to hear the in between the commercials or like when they are reporting on the sidelines. So you guys highlighting it for me is quite a highlight because I don't get to see as much as what I would like to from the sports analysis on the sidelines and during those games. So I love it. I think she's a great, strong woman. And she's very versatile and for ESPN for covering multiple different kind of sports sections. And you have to like stay in the game with all of those sports. So that's just quite dedication, I would say, to the broadcasts.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think what we're proving, like when we talk about sports writers too, as sports casters, as sports analysts that are women, is that again, that they do have the experience, that they actually do have the accreditation, because we always want to make sure that it's not like, oh, well, they just gave it to her because she's a pretty woman, right? No, that's not the case. You just explained all her, her college, the fact that she had to work her way up and all the different areas that she was doing before she even came into ESPN, and the fact that she did reporting for two of the big like sports companies, right? ESPN and Fox Sports, right? Like the fact that she's done that for both. And like Nicole said, not just football, but like a plethora of other sports. And you actually have to be knowledgeable about those areas as well so that you could talk about them eloquently and intelligently, right? So I think that talks about her versatility and the fact that, she'll talk about sideline stuff when she's at an NFL game, but she can also talk about other sports, right? She can also analyze and critique other sports, and so I think it's great. And so there are reporters, they push buttons, right? And so I think I remember that incident about some people were upset that she did that, and so, but sometimes you have to push that envelope to see what is that threshold, right? Sometimes you don't know what that threshold is until you push that envelope, and then it's like, oh, okay, maybe I went too far, but you don't know that unless you try, right? You don't know until you do it. But so yeah, good. I've seen her around for a lot too, so I'm glad that Susie's still around. Yeah, so
covering the draft.
So that's exciting. So
she's probably one of my favorites.
A good woman in the NFL. That's a good one. that was a great one. So all right, everybody. I hope everybody learned some more. You probably have seen Suzy Kolber because, again, like Kate says, she is on ESPN. She was on Fox Sports, and so I'm sure you've seen her in the sidelines. I'm sure you've seen her interviews and talking to the guys. And so now you know a little bit more about her. And so I hope that educate everybody, provide you some info that you might not have known about Suzy before. And so nice one, Kate. All right. So now we're going to move on to another segment that we've had since the beginning. We've been doing these two segments, Women in the NFL, and then the next one is Cause in the NFL. Since we started this show last year, because it was important for us to showcase causes and empowerment and things that either the NFL does or players that give back, because we do believe in giving back. And so I think that's important for these big organizations who are making a lot of this money, right? Who have all this revenue to use that for change and positive change. And so before we move on to Cause in the NFL, a little clip.
I think it's really nice that someone like Hayden Hurst is coming out and being like, look, you're not alone. I'm a big, tough football player, and look at me. Like, I went through it too. Like, anybody can go through it. Doesn't matter how, like, if you're an athlete, if you're a man.
All right. Nicole is the one covering our cause this week. And so without further ado, Nicole, take it away and tell us about your cause.
Yeah, so the cause in the NFL's Inspire Change, support for social justice. So this is a news bulletin that I pulled up here that just came out on December 15th, 2022 from New York. They are announcing for the second consecutive year, the National Football League and its 32 clubs will highlight its commitment to social justice during the regular season through game day stadium activations and awareness. Inspire Change, the league's year-round social justice initiative, will come to life on the field starting today, aka December 15th, and continue through week 15 and 16, integrating in-stadium elements as well as video content during the game broadcasts that highlight the impact of social justice work done by the NFL players, clubs, and league office. The grant partners to break down barriers to opportunity and end systemic racism. The new elements to Inspire Change this year will include the addition of 5 Inspire Change grant partners, which I'll explain later, and the NFL's inaugural Inspire Change Changemaker Award. They say, we are proud of the work we've done across the league to help build lasting change that supports the most undersourced and vulnerable people within our communities, says NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. So the new social justice grant partners, as of the Inspire Change, the league has also awarded funding to the 5 ones, which is Atlanta Policing Alternatives and Diversion Initiative. So that's PAD for short. Chicago's Crisis Assistance, Respondents, and Engagement, which the acronym is CARE, and Choose 180, as well as Gulf Coast JFCS, Community Assistance and Life Liaison Program, CALL, and Peace for DC. These national grant partners represent the expansion of the Inspire Change Police Community Relations pillar to include organizations that support of both community advocates and law enforcement. There's quite a bit that has been done. They provided $244 million to more than 40 national grant partners and more than 600 grassroots organizations across the country, nearing its 10-year mark. So this includes more than 18,000 Inspire Change matching grants provided by the NFL Foundation to the current NFL players and leagues for nonprofits of their choice to help reduce barriers to opportunity. So Separately, the NFL media debuted a 3-part docu-series on the 18th of December on NFL.com. If you guys want to go and check it out, it features New Orleans Saint All-Pro linebacker Demario Davis and his devoted Dreamers Academy, an after-school program launching of January 2023. Designed to serve New Orleans youth through sports, academics, and mentorships. So there's quite a bunch of things that does happen. If you guys want to know more information about the NFL Inspire Change Social Justice Initiative, please visit the www.nfl.com/inspire change. They also have a Twitter and Instagram account. There's quite a few foundations that they do support. One of the highlights of the new grants call, they provide compassionate civilian response to nonviolent and non-critical 911 calls and police officer referrals, because sometimes the police are not needed as more so of a counselor or someone who is more understanding for, I think, interpreting people that have disputes and stuff, because we have a lot of things going on mentally in our minds and stuff. And sometimes using force and with the communities that are most vulnerable, I think it's a very great thing to highlight nowadays, especially. So I really like what the NFL is doing. And they're putting a lot of money where their mouth is, and that money is going directly to those programs for those people. So I really appreciate it.
That's great. I think that's great that you covered this. You're right that I'm surprised we haven't. But I'm surprised that we haven't. But before we start talking about it, I did find a video, because we do like kind of sharing some more so that people, on top of our facts that we share as as analysts, but that you can also hear from the horse's mouth, as it were, kind of what they do and what the programs are. And so I'll share a quick video, and then we will discuss kind of what Nicole presented, which I think I agree with you. Sometimes we do need to use different resources, not always force. So let me take care of that, and then
$250 million. That's how much the NFL and its teams committed to social justice causes over the next 10 years. And they're already more than halfway to that goal. You might be thinking, that's great, but how is that money actually impacting communities across America? Good question. Here's the answer. First, that money is divided into 3 main categories: league-issued social justice grants, team contributions, and NFL Foundation matching grants. Let's start with the social justice grants. Each year, the NFL issues these grants to nonprofits, picked by a joint player-owner social justice working group. 30 organizations have received these grants so far, including groups like Alabama Appleseed, the National Urban League, Community Justice Exchange, and Gideon's Promise. The NFL also works with the Players Coalition, an independent nonprofit organization of athletes fighting for social justice and racial equality. The 3-year total of these grants, more than $30 million. Next up, team contributions. The NFL's 32 franchises support change-driven nonprofits in their own backyards. These donations come from club owners, team foundations, and special player team matching funds. The tally on these contributions, more than $122 million. That brings us to NFL Foundation matching grant. The NFL Foundation offers matching grants to current and former players and teams. So far, they've awarded 1,448 player matching grants, with about 2/3 of them going to current players. The grants have funded organizations that support education, fight poverty, push for criminal justice reform, support better police and community relations, advocate for racial equality, contribute to economic development, and fight against COVID-19. The number on those grants, over $8 million. Now you know where the money is going, but these are more than just organizations. These contributions are paying for teachers, medical care, neighborhood improvement, housing, chipping away at racism and inequality, changing lives on a real day-to-day basis. We have a long way to go, but with players leading the way and the league supporting them, we're making major strides in the right direction. Let's keep this drive going.
All right. Yeah. See, nice job. That was great. All right. So, Kate, what you think about when Nicole presented, and also like how the video gave us even some more info?
I just think this is really crucial, especially with everything that's gone on in the last few years. We do need to make light of this. And I love that the NFL is so about embracing these causes and wanting teams and the team owners and the organizations to make light of inspiring the changes that need to happen for social justice and racial equality, and making sure that we are doing things differently and approaching things differently from a social justice aspect. That, like you said, they're working on figuring out in communities where they may need like a psychologist to come and help in the incident versus the force. I think there is always a way to bring in someone who is in distress in a very safe and non-hostile manner. And the fact that they're trying to do different things is really encouraging. I love that they're giving back to these communities and helping teachers, helping other community activists create change and positive change in these areas, because I think it's something that needs to happen in our country. I mean, there's been too much social injustice in the last few years, and that, you know, there's been the huge Black Lives Matter movement. There's been a lot of inequality as far as when a suspect is taken in, or who's taken in alive, who's not taken in alive at all. So I think it's really good that this is something we're working on. And because, I mean, it all goes back to, I mean, some shows talk about controversial things, like when Colin Kaepernick took his knee. I mean, he was peacefully protesting what this whole thing is about. So anyway, I'm just glad that because of certain issues and different things in the NFL and things that spurred these changes, it's happening. Mm-hmm. So kudos to the NFL. I hope that this is seen in a positive light, and that people are seeing it for what it is and why we need it. And I can't wait to learn more about it now that you've brought it to light and you've educated us even further. So those are my 2 cents.
Thank you, Kate. Nicole, what did you think about the additional info in the video? You kind of had a lot of it already, but was there anything new that you learned from the video
I liked
itself?
how they split the little 3 distinct different ways in getting that. So it's more pieces of the pie that are more legible for different kinds of opportunities, I would say. So I'm very happy that we can definitely get behind this for the NFL, and I hope that they continue to do what they've been doing and keep adding more grants too.
Yeah, like I agree. I think what I like is that I agree with you. It's like they have the national level, right? You have the NFL nationally, and they're giving to like national organizations. But then they're like, okay, then you have to go local, right? And so then although they got the local teams, and then under local teams, you have the players themselves, right? Who are, because it is multifaceted, right? Nationally is awesome, but you feel the quickest impact when it's local. That is just it's just how it is. When things happen locally, you're gonna feel it a lot sooner. And so I do appreciate the fact that they recognize that, and it has to be a multi-pronged approach. It can't just be one national thing, but you also have to have the teams, all the teams buy in, and then support those local programs, right? And those local recognized programs that are doing good for the community. And I agree with Kate. I like that they are looking at the different pillars of the community, the teachers, right? The educators, the activists, the medical personnel. And then, yeah, even law enforcement, because it is important to build those relationships. So when I was growing up, I grew up in an urban setting, and we used to know the police in our neighborhoods. So we used to know who they are. They used to kind of come around. I'm like, hey, blah blah blah, by name. What are you doing? Get to school, whatever. Even though we were urban kids and we were kids of color, we still had that relationship. We knew who the cops were that were patrolling our streets. They knew us. We knew them. If not by name, we knew them by face. They knew us by face. And so they used to tell us, like, hey, get to school. Don't get in trouble. I had friends that used to get in trouble. It just happens. There's kids that I knew. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, they picked me up. And they were like, hey, don't go down this path, And so I feel like that is missing. Like that aspect is missing. And so I think that's great that they're trying to build that community again of how can you trust, the people that are patrolling your streets, but also like the neighborhoods, right? It's just so I do think it's important that that they are doing this, and they're realizing that has to come from a lot of different levels. So thanks, Nicole, for bringing this to light, and I hope that everybody learned something new. And as always, I will put this on our LTF Facebook group too with the link. So if you guys want to learn more, you'll be able to click and kind of, if you want to donate, because they showed you where the dollars go, by the way. That's the thing I liked about the video as well, is that they actually told you where the money is going. Or just to learn more and then share it too, because maybe there are programs locally that you didn't know about. And so maybe there's things that locally that you can volunteer with or just kind of share within your community. So Nicole, that was awesome. Right now, the score is 3-3, by the way, just so you know.
The typical Thursday night. These Thursday night games are so sad.
So it is a 3-3 game there with the Jets and and the Jaguars. All right. Before we go on to hot players, a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back. I want to say, hey, Kaio, I see you popped in. Welcome. Glad you joined us. He likes your Oilers jersey, of course. And yes, we've heard those rumors as well, but they're just rumors right now. Unless Field Yates or Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter tweets it, I'm not going to believe it. So, but it's interesting, though, that's what's out there, though. I got to say, it is intriguing. That's kind of what's been out there, but we'll see. All right, so our hot players of last week, we will start in the order that I posted them because I didn't even realize that. So let's go with wide receiver Khalif Raymond.
Oh, yes. That is my hot player. I do have to say that he is quite great. He is the first Lions player to do a return punt for a touchdown since 2020. He is the wide receiver, number 11. Also, I forgot to say that. So he now the return man is being honored for it, winning NFC Special Teams Player of the Week for his efforts in the 2017 win on Sunday. Alex must be very happy. against the New York Jets. He's the 5th Lion player in a weekly award this season, to win a weekly award this season. Joining receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, edge rusher Aiden Hutchinson, safety Kirby Joseph, and kicker Michael Badgley. That's a team high since 1977. Or no, sorry, 1997.
It's been a while since we were really good in Detroit.
97. We got you. No worries. Keep going.
So yeah, I do have to say it was kind of really an awesome moment. I don't know if you guys saw, but after he was explaining, he did get the game ball, and Campbell said, "Give me that ball here in the locker room," turning to Raymond after his 2017 win. And he said, "Let me tell you something. This guy right here is an Iron Man. This guy's an Iron Man. He does everything for us." And what he said back was really, really nice. He said, "It's us. I didn't do anything. We did that together, man. We did. That's us. We fight down to the last, literally the last second. That's who we are. That's us." So not only that, he's a great, I think, team player. So.
Aw, I love that when they're humble too and they're team players. That says a lot. Thank you for bringing a wide receiver from the Lions. You're right though. He was a huge huge key for that, and I'm excited, even though they're in my division. But it's cool to see the Lions have some wins like that. And honestly, I hope they sneak in there. I do. All right, thank you for that. That was a good choice. And people who are still hanging in with us, who is your hot player of last week? We love to see y'all in the comments. Let us know who you think was your hot player of last week. We say last week because obviously, we're in a new week of football. So let us know who you thought played outstanding last week. We love to hear from y'all. So, all right. So my pick was, again, love you, Cowboy fans. My lovely co-host was not here today, Janae. But my pick was wide receiver Zay Jones of the Jaguars because he balled out that game. I don't think people even knew who Zay Jones was until this game. You know what I mean? Not unless you were paying attention. But that's what I mean. Not unless you really follow football really closely and are a Jaguars fan or what's going on over there. I don't think that's a name that will pop up on people's radars. But he had a monster game. 6 receptions, but those 6 receptions totaled 109 yards.
Wow.
Of those 109 yards, he got 3 touchdowns. And his longest was 59 yards. So Mr. Zay Jones was a key reason of why the Jaguars came back and beat the Cowboys in overtime, because he just killed that game. Him and Lawrence just had a connection that game. And like I said, he had 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards, and so like I said, not flashy, not so, people don't really know who Zay Jones is because, he right now this season, he only has 764 yards this season so far, right? So not someone that, people think about, but he made it work. So like I said, those 3 touchdowns helped them definitely win the game. I hope the kid gets more targets. Maybe we can elevate this game today that is Thursday night and going as we expected of a slow movie.
I didn't know that his family was in the NFL too. Bunch of footballers.
Yeah, so Zay, I don't know, but I hope you get activated soon because it's still 3-3. But it looks like the Jaguars are in the end zone, so they are close to scoring. So who knows? We'll see. Maybe he'll get a TD this game. But yeah, that was my hot player of last week, Mr. Zay Jones. And all right, Kate, last but certainly not least, talk about your hot player of last week.
I too, sorry to my Cowboy fans of David Wright, Janae Strother, and Ash Swinton. I too went with the Jacksonville Jaguar. I went with their safety, Rayshawn Jenkins. And I just thought he did phenomenal. He was very key in that victory. Sean, we know why you love the show because we're trashing on the Cowboys. But it remains to be seen why Jenkins deserves that. He had 18 total tackles. He had 9 solo. He had 9 assisted. He had 2 interceptions. One, which was very key, it was a 52-yard reception in overtime.
Ooh.
From Mr. Dakota Rain Prescott, as they all say, those Cowboy fans. Dakota saw the wrong colors and threw it to my hot player. And he ran it for 52 yards, which gave them the edge to win that game. And so his key interception in overtime is what sealed the deal to defeat the Cowgirls, or whatever that you want to call them, in Dallas, Texas. And overall for this season, he's got 95 total tackles, 60 of which are solo, 35 assisted. He's got 3 interceptions on the season. So you can see he is a very key part of their defense every game. And so that is your safety, Rayshawn Jenkins of the Jacksonville Jaguars, whose 52-yard gain for interception in overtime helped his Jaguars defeat our lovely Cowboys.
Nice.
Boys that day.
Well, it was a little different. No quarterbacks and our hot players of last week this time around. So I like it. We're shaking it up. We're shaking it up because honestly, it's like, all right. So that's cool. We got 2 wide receivers and a safety tonight. That's great. All right. So let's move on to a fun segment. This segment was created by our lovely co-host, Ms. Janae. She honestly was the one that kicked it off of, hey, let's talk about some drama. And we've continued it ever since. And so just a couple, not too many things going on, but one of the big ones is that there's trouble in Patriots clubhouse, all right? There's something going on. People are not happy with Mac Jones. Mac Jones isn't happy. A lot of rumors are leaking about discontent. And a couple of days ago, if you guys were paying attention, a sports writer basically put out there that the Patriots should somehow either get Tom Brady back or even Garoppolo. They were saying, like, hey, get Tom Brady or bring back Jimmy. And guess what? Mr. Mac Jones, left tackle, Mr. Trent Brown, liked that post. And so, of course, that created a lot of drama because they're like, wait a minute, you're a left tackle. You're supposed to be protecting you. And they're liking a post from a reporter saying that you should be replaced. So obviously that's creating a lot of tension. And so that's one of our stories. What do y'all think about this? Like, anybody take it up? Like, what do you think about the Patriots? Like, what's going on?
Oh, there's a lot of hostility there. Mac Jones has been yelling at Matthew Patricia. God, I've never been more excited to get rid of a coach in Detroit. But anyway, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, all the time, he's F-bomb galoring him on the sideline every week. Throw the ball, don't quit, run the damn ball, and all this stuff, and getting in his face. And so there's a lot of hostility because this is not, we are used to dynasty football from the New England Patriots. They usually run the NFL. They're usually one of the top teams in the playoffs. So ever since Brady left and Belichick's tried to figure out what the next moves are, I mean, they lost a lot of players. Gronk decided to not come back to their organization. He followed Tom. It's been very shaky up there. They lost a lot of pieces. So I can see why there's the tension and the drama. Of course, he went with Mac Jones in the draft, Alabama quarterback, solid performer for Nick Saban, very good college quarterback, but not producing the way I think they were hoping in the NFL, the way he did at Bama. So there's just a lot of different things going on. But I honestly think it's not Mac Jones. I think it's their offensive coordinator. He was their defensive coordinator originally before coming to Detroit, but he was hired back on as offensive coordinator, which he did great as the defensive coordinator, Patricia did for Belichick, but not so hot as offensive coordinator. So I can see why there's a lot of drama. I can see why there's a lot of frustration. But I think they need to I think Belichick needs to cut the Patricia cords, let him go, bring in a better coordinator for Mac. And I think Mac could be a really good quarterback because he was proven at Bama to be a very good quarterback, but you need the right offensive coordinator for him. So I don't think we need necessarily Tom Brady to come back or Garoppolo to come back. We need to give Mac Jones a better coordinator to use his talents and abilities, because I know he can do it because I've seen him do it at Bama. So with having that college background, I know Mac Jones can be a good quarterback. I just think he's got the wrong offensive coordinator. So there's my 2 cents. So I don't like that his tackle liked that post because I don't think the tackle sees the bigger picture.
Right. What do you think, Nicole?
I'm not really into the Patriots, but I just looked up who this Bill Belichick guy is.
He's incredible.
He's been on the team for 22 years. 22 years he's been there.
You know, I love you that you said, like, who's this Bill Belichick guy?
I didn't know that you could coach for that long.
Oh yeah.
As long as you win as many Super Bowls as he has, you can.
I guess he's used to producing and being like in
he
that.
Is.
So
he is. This is not what he's used to.
It must be a very like internal competitive dilemma they're going through right now.
Yeah.
It is. Peace and love to you. Love.
I agree.
Yeah.
You're right. He's not used to losing.
No.
He's not. He's not used to losing. I don't think he's used to all the drama either, all the conflict, the fact that the players are kind of at each other's throats like that. It's not a situation that he's used to. And so they better figure it out. And I don't think Mac Jones is the guy. I'm sorry. I don't see what everybody else sees. I feel I've always said it, and he's not perfect, but I think Zap is more his style. I don't know what they decide next season, but I know they picked Mac Jones, but I do feel that Zap is more in line with what Bill Belichick likes. But hey, we'll see what they decide. So that's one of the dramas. What do y'all think? Have you guys heard anything different? People keep tweeting, sending stuff out. I'm sure this story keeps developing. What do you think about the Patriots drama and the fact that there's a lot of internal conflict? Another big thing is the snub of Tua. So I don't know if people know this, but Tua actually beat out Mr. Hurts and Mahomes when it came to fan votes as to the QB that they'd like to see in the Pro Bowl. And so what that means is, because if you guys know how Pro Bowls are selected, it's fan-based, but the majority of it actually comes from the players and the coaches and people in the NFL. And so what that means is that for some reason, players and coaches decided not to put in their votes for Tua, even though the fans overwhelmingly did. The Dolphins quarterback led the league in fan votes prior to the team selections. He had 306,861 votes on Monday. And that beat out, like I said, Mr. Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, who were named starters in the Pro Bowl. And so a lot of people feel that Tua was snubbed, and there's some people, fans are upset, really, obviously, because they were like, what's going on? We actually wanted to see him there. They're saying Tua actually has a better competition percentage than even Allen, a better quarterback rating than both, and fewer interceptions than both. And so, again, like, people are trying to understand, like, what else does Tua need to do to prove that he should have been, that he is a Pro Bowl contender. So a lot of his fans and fans in general are actually upset that he wasn't named the starter, since the fans actually overwhelmingly kind of voted for him. So what do y'all think? Was that a snub or not?
Oh, I know Bobby has some words. He's a Miami Dolphins fan. I'm learning about this Pro Bowl, and it just seems that, depending, I don't know, but some guys, it really means a lot to them, right? And then to others, if they've been there before, would this been to his first time? And I don't know if, I guess it's can mean a lot to some people, whereas I've seen some people's reactions who did get in and they're like, yeah, go, I figured. And it didn't look like too much like they were playing it off as like, oh yeah, of course. But I mean, if he's really wanting, he gets a popular vote, it does, at least you got the popular votes. Let them have that Pro Bowl, but like, that's what I think about that.
Well, I see it as like one of our United States election. Here you win the popular vote, but the Electoral College is saying, no, you don't get to become president. But
That's
saying
funny.
to Tua, sorry, you don't get to be the starting quarterback or one of the main quarterbacks in the Pro Bowl. So do we need to relook at how this Pro Bowl is voted on?
Right.
Do we go with the popular vote, or do we go with what the NFL's Electoral Colleges and the teams and the players and the coaches and organizations picking them? But I think he got a huge snub. I think it was unfair. The fans voted. I mean, I've seen so many people on Twitter retweeting to get these players voted into the Pro Bowl, and to say that, sorry, yeah, you won the popular vote, but the Electoral College of the NFL is saying, no, you're not going to get your popular vote. It's really unfair, and I do think they need to relook at how that is decided, because he should be the top quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
It should be all fan voted. It should be. I mean, like Bobby said, the MLB, the NBA, and NHL All-Star games are all fan voted, and they usually get it right. They usually get the best players on those teams. And
the All-Stars are voted by fans. Yeah, and the NBA anyway. I don't know. I think the MLB too. Yes, I know the NBA for sure.
So fans want to see the best, and they want to see their players, and so the fans should have the say. And so,
I agree.
Anyway, they're looking at even making the Pro Bowl completely different anyway for injury's sake and everything else. So,
well, I think this year is going to be fun because the reason we might see the starters actually play because it's a flag football game, and I think that was smart because the whole point of why a lot of our number one guys that would get chosen wouldn't play or play as hard is because they're going to the playoffs. They're like, well, we don't want to get injured,
Right.
And so that's where we had to make those changes. And I think that's why you're going to see more guys play because it's going to be fun. They're going to be like little kids out there.
Oh,
but also, yeah, I think so. Also, the thing with the Pro Bowl selections is that it does get added to your accolades though. Whereas I know some people are like, oh, Pro Bowl doesn't matter. When you read up on stats, right, for a legendary player, we always hear 7-time Pro Bowler, 10-time Pro Bowler, right? And so we might not think, oh, it's not a big deal anymore. But to players, and when it comes to stats and looking at who's getting into a Hall of Fame, they do look at Pro Bowls. They do look at how many Pro Bowls you make. So unfortunately, when it comes to that it does matter, like if you're selected first team or second team, you know what I mean? It's just, so we'll see. Maybe he'll get a shot next year. But
bonuses for there must be something in it. I mean, awards.
I mean, when you win the game, yes.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if the NFC wins or the AFC wins, they do get like a chance, the Pro Bowl trophy or whatever it is, and then they have like skills challenges too. Now where they give trophies, like it's just a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And then before we move on to ladies have the final say, we have been talking about Antonio Brown for weeks on the show because he keeps making our drama segment, but the drama with him is over. He actually, he beat out the police waiting outside his house, waiting to serve him a warrant. The warrant has been rescinded because the lady that pressed charges decided not to go forward anymore and dropped all charges. So Antonio Brown can now leave his house without fear of arrest. So I think here we go.
He can restock his pantry finally.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. But anyway, just want to give an update on that. And so that's kind of our drama stories. A quick video before we go into ladies have the final say. And again, thanks for everybody that joined in to hang out with us so far. But you need to like not give up and just try your best to persevere through whatever you want to reach, right? Whatever goal, whether it's short goal, long goal, whatever, just perseverance is key, and I know it's hard. All right, so we have arrived to our final segment of Ladies Have the Final Say, and I will kick it off with Nicole. What is your final say this evening?
My final say, it's my vacation. So I'm starting vacation week, and I was saying goodbye to all my coworkers, saying see you next year. But I just wanted to say something that, enjoy those smiles that you get to have with your loved ones. Laughter and seeing all the beautiful lights out there for everyone celebrating. I just think that really take the time to cherish those smiles and those moments with your loved ones and seeing them, spending time and be in pictures. I know I'm not talking about for my brother, but it's always good to have those little memories sometimes pop up, and sometimes it can be troubling times too. I know not everyone it's a happy holiday for us. So just being considerate and just enjoying what you have. If you need to take a break and, set boundaries up, you do that. And, just know that this is a time for rest, renewal, and growth, and love. So that's all.
That was beautiful. Yeah, so my final say is again, just kind of happy holidays to everybody. Honestly, I hope that everybody has somebody, whether that's family or if it's not family. Even if it's one person, who cares? Honestly, sometimes the best time is with one person who gets you. Sometimes that's all you need. One person who understands you to just hang out and just have a nice, wonderful holiday season, holiday week, whatever it is. But honestly, just happy holidays. Thanks for everybody that tuned in tonight. I know people are going on vacations, me as well.
The mic, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
sorry.
There we go.
Sorry, I wanted to just say, didn't realize that. I just want to say happy holidays to everybody again. And I hope that everybody is with somebody, whether it's one person. Sometimes one person is better than many, someone that kind of holds you down. So I just want to make sure that everybody's just happy holidays, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us today. I'm also heading into my break from school. And so I agree, use that time to slow down, wind down. Us in America, we're always running and just anxious. And I think that that's part of what adds to the anxiety that so many of us feel. Like I feel that's why that feeds into just anxiety and how tired we feel sometimes, because we're always running. So slow down, use these times to relax, kick back, and just kind of take it all in. But again, I just want to say thank you again for tuning in on this Thursday night. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, everybody. That's my final say. Kate?
I'm going to reference one of my favorite Christmas movies and my favorite movie of all time. My favorite movie of all time is an old movie, Nicole. You'll have to watch it if you haven't. It's called It's a Wonderful Life. It's the story of George Bailey. And in the movie, he runs into a bad time and he says on a bridge, I wish I was never born. So Clarence, this angel, makes that happen. So he sees what his life is like if he's not in this world. And it's a really good, deep movie. And in the end, Clarence gives him this note and it says, no man is a failure who has friends. So just always know who's in your corner, know who has your back, know who is there for you, because it's really true that life can look really, really bad. Like it looked really, really bad for George, but he had a whole town of people that rallied behind him to help him and bring him from the brinks of where he thought his life was at. So you may not see them, you may not know that they're there, but there are more people in your corner than you really imagine. And there's a lot of champions for you in your life, and it's amazing that it's really amazing how many people do have your back. And it's amazing to me how many people are there for you. Like, I have my own little person in our Let's Talk Football family. Like, me and Anthony Handy check on each other a lot. We message each other. We look after each other. And it's really special that we do that. We do that with us ladies a lot. We are there for each other. So you have a lot of people that have your back. So just remember, in the scheme of life, in the scheme of where you're at in the holidays, no man is a failure who has friends, and you have more friends than you probably even imagine in your life, and people that love you and people that support you, and just know that they're there. You always have your guardian angels, and you have your people in your corner. So in this holiday spirit, look around you, witness the people that are applauding you, cheering you on, asking how you're doing, seeing how life is going for you, and know that there are those people around you that have your best interest. So in that spirit, I want to encourage you all to watch the movie It's a Wonderful Life, because it's really a great story of where life should be and how you should view your life. And I'm just going to say this. I'm very thankful to all the people in this Let's Talk Football family that has my back all the time. And I love you and I appreciate you. And going into this, I'm just going to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, for everything.
Exactly.
Whatever you celebrate it to your fullest. Be with your families, be with your loved ones, and just enjoy each other's company and enjoy each other to the absolute fullest, and never take your people for granted.
Oh, that was beautiful. Mm-hmm. Thanks to three of you again. Nicole, thanks for being our newest co-host, and you've come in so seamlessly. I love it. Like you've been here the whole time.
We love you, Nicole.
Thank you guys.
Breath of fresh air. All right, so signing off, I'm Delilah Crespo. You can catch me on Thursday nights with Nicole, Miss Kate, Janae, and maybe a surprise guest next week, so you'll have to tune in. To my right,
hey.
And
Kate, Tom Brady's biggest fan, signing off, representing the Lions, Kat.
There you go. And then last but not least, below me and Kate,
Nicole.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Honestly, happy holidays. We love y'all. Have a wonderful night. All right. We only went like 15 minutes over.